There are planes, trains, and automobiles. Okay, maybe not trains, just the planes and the automobiles part. Stuff is going on outside my apartment, so if you can hear some buzzing and some jets in the background, then I apologize for that. It's hard to remove it from the audio file using Adobe Audition. But today, what I wanted to do was talk about some looser, smaller trade ideas that have been put out there on social media. Now, normally, the last video of the day is reserved for Vancouver Canucks trade talk, or something of that nature. But because the Vancouver Canucks actually did make a trade earlier this afternoon, I didn't want to saturate the market with too much Vancouver stuff. I feel like Canucks fans really need to digest that Artur Shilov's trade before we move on and start talking about other things. And with that in mind, I was like, yeah, let's just talk about some other smaller trade ideas and trade updates from around the NHL, focusing on teams that I have somewhat of a vested interest into. Starting out with this, the New York Islanders and Dan Milstein. Take a look at this update. Dan Milstein, of course, player agent for We Are Gold Star. He represents pretty much the majority of the Russian hockey base in the National Hockey League. Milstein is one of the most powerful hockey agents around. And he made this post on Twitter 3 days ago talking about how Islanders goaltender Ilya Sorokin has a full no-trade clause, and he has never been part of any trade discussions. Not at any point. He's surprised that this needs correcting, but here we are. There's a difference between reporting facts and creating buzz around yourself. Hashtag We Are Gold Star. So, Milstein essentially going out there and shutting down all of the Ilya Sorokin trade chatter that has been percolating online the past few days. We heard some reports about maybe Edmonton, they could be involved here. The Utah Mammoth, maybe they were interested in acquiring Sorokin for the 4th overall pick. Maybe it was Matthew Barzal. We've heard a whole bunch of different things over the past few days. But ultimately, Milstein, the agent, is representing his client and standing by his client, saying, hey, the guy has trade protection, and he has not been asked to waive it. He has not been in any of these discussions. Anybody saying that he has been is just creating a buzz around yourself. Is he taking a shot at me here, folks? No, I don't think so, because all the stuff that we talk about here on this channel is usually outsourced from other people, and we just react and respond to it. Ha, there is the big caveat for me protecting myself on this YouTube platform. But Ilya Sorokin is a very good goaltender, despite the fact that his numbers this year did take a little bit of a dip. 907 save percentage and a 271 goals against. It's odd because his goals against was a lot better this year than it was the year before, but his save percentage was better the year before than it was this previous year. 907 save percentage, 271 goals against versus a 909 save percentage and a 301 goals against. Still, these prior 2 years do not compare to the 2021 to 2023 stints that we had seen out of Sorokin. 925 and 924 save percentages. This guy was a monster. And I apologize, there is an electric vehicle backing up outside of my apartment, so you could probably hear the chiming there. Man, these EVs have some pretty loud sound effects, but we can't really go out there and control that, can we? Ilya Sorokin is a very good goaltender, and his agent's going out there and saying that there are no trade discussions. So Islanders fans, exhale. It's a wonderful time for an exorcism. We don't need to be thinking about Sorokin trade talk, at least until another insider goes out there and drops a report that completely contradicts this. But for now, we will just let it breathe. Speaking about trade ideas, let's go out there and read a post made by NHL Rumor Report, shifting gears from the Islanders to the Dallas Stars and the Calgary Flames. Take a look at what David Pagnotta said earlier this week on Well, It's the Big Show, regarding Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars. Teams are keeping tabs, Calgary included. I think they've wanted to know, if you can't reach a deal, give us a call. Maybe that impacts the Rasmus Andersson overall discussion in terms of something larger. So David Pagnotta coming out here with a really big scoop that the Calgary Flames might be interested in Jason Robertson, and they could be in a spot where Rasmus Andersson is in trade discussions for him. Let's go out there and read some of the replies. An extended Andersson plus a B prospect for Robertson is a fair trade, Special K says. The Flames would need to be giving up some extra pieces. You can have Andersson and one of Coleman, backing, Farabee, Klopka, Pospisil, or Hanzik. LMAO, no it effing isn't. So, yeah. Maybe Andersson plus a little bit extra, not just a B prospect, for Robertson is a fair trade. Dallas should just ship out the drama queen. Kinda knew it was the case when Rupe got 8 years, Miro got 8 years, and Robo got a bridge deal. The team doesn't love him as much as people think, hence Wyatt getting a big contract before Jason Robertson. Now, I'm not going to go out there and completely start taking a dump on my guy, Jason Robertson. I know I'm kind of biased because I love all Filipino hockey players, but Jason Robertson has still been a very capable player, and I think the biggest question with him is just whether or not he can continue to be a 100-point caliber guy. He reached that high once in his NHL career, but the past 2 seasons saw him at just under a point per game. Now, just under a point per game is fine. 80 points in 82 games played in back-to-back seasons, I'd say that's pretty good. But it's not 109. And the contract that he got was pretty much in the territory of, let's just say, I can honestly say that $7.7 million is roughly how much an 80-point guy should be getting paid anyway. Like, I get it, he had the 109-point season, 22-23, and that was the very first year of that contract. But in this first season, he way outperformed what it was he was making on the payroll. The next few years, he's been roughly fairly paid, but because he's 25 and he has a contract extension that he's capable to be given now, the question is, how much do you give this guy? Do you give this guy 8 years at, let's say, $9 million? Do you pay him as if he's an 80-point guy? Or do you pay him based off the potential? Do you say, hey, you scored 109 points in 22-23, we think you can do that again, we think you can continue to up yourself, we think you can get 120 points, here's $12 million a year. If the Dallas Stars were willing to go that route, Jason Robertson probably would have been signed already. But alas, that is not the reality we live in. Right now, Jason Robertson and the Dallas Stars cannot agree on a contract extension, and it's really started to bubble up into more trade discussions than we would have expected, let's say, 1 year ago. So, we think about the Calgary Flames, and we think about Rasmus Andersson. Andersson is a really good defenseman, 28 years old, right-handed guy. He's also signed on till the end of this upcoming season. He's making a lot less at $4.55 million, and Andersson had 31 points in 81 games played this season. Now, like Robertson, Andersson is a few years removed from a really good campaign where he had 50 points in 82 games played. Make no mistake about it, though, he played most of this year not at his fullest health capacity, and he also was on a team that wasn't all too great in Calgary. There is more to the tank for Rasmus Andersson and what he is capable of bringing to an NHL squad. I honestly think that with the right opportunity and with proper health, he could be a 50-point defenseman every single year if he wanted to be. He is that good, he is solid defensively, he's got an active stick, and he's right-handed and mobile. There's a lot to like out of Rasmus Andersson, and if you're a Dallas Stars team and Calgary is thinking about sending over Andersson for a Jason Robertson swap, maybe the price isn't really that high. Maybe Rasmus Andersson doesn't need to have the most glorious pieces attached to it to get Jason Robertson to go over to Calgary. Obviously, there would be some sort of an interesting connection with Robertson with the Flames, considering the playoff battles that they had in the past. Shout out to Johnny Gaudreau for the excellent overtime winner all those years ago in Game 7. But if the Calgary Flames wanted more former 100-point scorers like Jonathan Huberdeau, Jason Robertson, step right up. This might be your time to shine. So with all this in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Firstly, what do you think about Ilya Sorokin and the trade discussions with the Islanders not being all too important? And what are your thoughts on the Jason Robertson, Rasmus Andersson trade situation between Dallas and Calgary? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. 99, and bye.